Hello and welcome to a little build video that I wanted to share. It's far from end game so far because I'm using the new gems that were just released, at least a couple of them. Uh, the main one I'm using is Lightning Trap. And if you haven't seen the new gems that came out in the last patch, a patch that will probably be remembered as the trap patch for years to come, then you should check them out. So there's Lightning Trap, there's Smoke Mine, and there's Multiple Traps, which is a support gem that is incredible. It seemed lackluster at first, but it's it's really awesome. At least for Lightning Trap at the moment, which deals insane damage, even without multiple traps. But yeah, you get more projectiles and a more possible damage through multiple traps. So I just wanted to show you some possible way to go if you want to try a trap build now that they've buffed them a bit. So what I got here, first of all, let me show you the main 5-link. It's pretty crappy at the moment. I didn't have any other 5-link available, so I would rather have like 2 blue instead of 3 green. But anyways, I have Lightning Trap with multiple traps and Chain, and then faster projectiles and Iron Will are not supposed to be part of this, but seeing as my mana is a bit cramped at the moment, sorry, these are the ones that are supposed to be here. I'm Eldritch Battery, but I'm low level. It's only level 32, and you see I have a evasion chest. I'd much rather have a pure ES or a ES hybrid chest to get some more mana, and the rest of the gear barely gives me anything either. It's just some twink gear I had lying around, so my mana is pretty bad. That's why I'm using Iron Will. If I had some better colors, I would probably use added lightning or added chaos damage instead of one of these, and maybe lightning penetration or something. I'm not really sure at the moment, but there are a couple of options. It shouldn't be that hard figuring out what you want to put into it. So Lightning Trap fires 9 projectiles in a circle around it. So all these collide with enemies, and therefore they work with Chain. I thought it didn't work at first when I just put a Lightning Trap in my high-leveled character and just tried tossing it around a few times. I thought it would work, but then it looked like it didn't. But it's because the projectiles, they don't collide with enemies unless they've traveled a certain distance. It's not that long of a distance, but it's enough to matter for, like, you won't be able to chain between 2 minions or 2 enemies standing right next to each other. But it's a pretty minor thing. So what I wanted to do with this character, well, obviously, first of all, using traps. And I didn't even plan on using Lightning Trap. I just thought, like, hey, I'm gonna use Fire Trap and Bear Trap. Just maybe I was thinking about maybe going Fire Trap and Detonate Dead, but once I got Lightning Trap, I was so sold. It's amazing. So in addition to this, since it's a trap, it means you can go dual totem without any drawback at all. And if you're lightning based and dual totem, why not use Spork totem? It's pretty boring, I know, so you don't have to, but it's definitely, good. But so far I haven't gotten dual totem yet. This is what the skill tree looks like right now. I've grabbed just a little bit of life here. I'm pretty squishy, but it's okay. Because I realize I should really go Chaos Inoculation or simply, low life, to, the regular low life Sporker, but with traps as well, because this one really functions pretty similarly to Spark Totems, and it would not surprise me at all if it became an option But even better, you can use both in the same build, since they benefit from exactly the same skills. I mean, you want to go dual totem? Definitely, it's traps. It doesn't affect that. Uh, One of the things you probably don't want to do though, unless you're like very high level and have godly gear, is going crit. Well, generally that's the case for any build. You have to spend a lot of points and gear mods to reach some decent crit with Spork. But for Lightning Trap, it's even worse because it's got 4% base chance to crit. So I'm going to skip crit completely, except for these two nodes, just because they're in the way basically. And also this node, I haven't respec'd out of it yet. I don't have refund points. So I went this route first since I was planning on doing Fire Trap, but I changed my mind, so I'm going Lightning. So that's definitely not supposed to be there. Anyways, the plan from here on out, grab Lightning Walker, and then go out this way here to enable some more life nodes, and then get into the Templar tree, get some more elemental damage, lightning damage, and then go to Ancestral Bond, and then you can definitely spend some points into summoning nodes if you want to do that as well. All of these things work well together. It's up to you how you want to do that. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to go summoner on this one. I might just pick up like these, or maybe just a few. We'll see. Oh, and of course, definitely you want to go up to the static blows, which means you unlock minion instability for just 1 point. And no matter what, though, even if you don't spec anything into summoning like minions and stuff, it's definitely still a good idea to still have them. Like even without skills, even without passive nodes, the summons are gonna be pretty good late game, and especially for a build that uses totems and traps. Because if you're using totems, you don't want the enemies to attack your totems, and if you're using traps, you'd prefer the enemies to stand still, that is, attacking your minions, so it's easier to hit them with the traps. But that last part is not going to be that big of a deal, and of course, if you're in a party, the minions matter even less. So let me just give you a quick playthrough. I'm going to show you a run in docks to give you an idea of what this build is capable of during the low levels. So this is the level 32 area. I'm 32, so it's exactly my level. Oh, this is a nice pack. You completely wreck the screen. And I do have some twink gear, I mean, including the 5 link, but you can do this with just the 3 link. Like, you don't need faster projectiles, you don't need Iron Will. So the only twink gear that actually affects the damage is Dodra's Tenure. It's awesome for lower level casters, since, yeah, you lose some cast speed, but you gain spell damage, so it means more damage per mana. But I could even, I could just take this out and show you what it would be like without it. My DPS increases without it, but yeah, let me find some a big grouping of mobs. Okay, this is not big. So you see, you completely wreck stuff. The mana is pretty bad at the moment, and I have no idea how good this will be later in the game, because I don't know how well Lightning Trap scales into late game. But even if you want to try this and are not sure that Lightning Trap works in the end game, you can just fall back onto the good old-fashioned Sporker. And if you're super rich and want to make it good, sure, go Chevrons and Low Life and Righteous Fire. That works just like you would with a Low Life Righteous Fire Sporker. So you see, first of all, yeah, you deal really good damage, and the projectiles just fly all over the place. So you won't have trouble hitting stuff. And I'm not using Spark Totem now. I could use it, but you see, I really don't need it. I mean, maybe for like the parties, if you're standing still for a longer time, sure, go ahead. Or if you run out of traps or whatever. Oh shit, that's an LMP dog. We don't like those here. Ah! Hold on. Okay, so this was a bit harder than the other stuff, but it's an LMP dog with purity, and it has elemental resist inbuilt as well. So, and right now I don't have bear trap. Do I? Yeah, I do. So let's use that. Yeah, that's way better. Come on. Does it regenerate life as well? Holy shit. There we go. Okay. So yeah, this was just a little quick walkthrough of a new build that's become available, and I think it's actually going to be pretty good. At least I hope so. It completely depends on how well the gems scales into the end game. But I mean, from the looks of it now, this is without any twin gear that affects my damage output. The only twin gear I have is Gold Rim for some survivability. This one, just because I had it, and the 5 link, which is practically a 3.5 link, and then Parandus Blazon, just because the extra attributes is nice. And Wonder Trap, just because it's a 4 link I had lying around. So yeah, definitely it's cheap as well. You don't even need to bother with quality on the gem, because quality on Lightning Trap, 2% gives you 1% trap laying speed, which is not that big of a deal, because you're not limited by that anyways. You're limited by the speed at which Lightning Trap recharges. I mean the cooldown, and it's 2 seconds. The other traps, as far as I know, are 4 seconds, so I don't know what's up with that. Maybe it's an error on the developer's part and it might be fixed. And it wouldn't surprise me at all, because it would still be very powerful. But if they don't change it back, well, it would just be better. So I've been having a lot of fun with this. I actually never played a trap build before. Yeah, I have cast like bear trap on an old Ethereal Knives character, but I never ever played traps, and I just felt I wanted to try something new now, and why not traps when they gave you some new toys to play with?
No on mine.
Like you see, it's pretty bonkers. I gotta admit, I have spec'd quite a bit into damage, passive node wise. So someone who would spec a bit tankier wouldn't get this extreme damage that I do, but you might have better gear instead. And you know, losing a bit of this damage output is not a problem. So yeah, make sure to comment and let me know what you think. If you've tried something similar, if you have some ideas, or you know something I don't, or whatever, just want to say hi. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you around.